Hello, it's John Heaton, and today I'm going to talk about some of the video material which is still unreleased to this day. I mean, one can pick up quite a lot on YouTube, but it's a bit annoying having to go to different locations to pick up different bits, and why can't they put it on one compilation video? And also the problem is, obviously, since the Beatles split, they obviously don't want to put out joint packages of their solo work, so if you want to get all of the solo videos, you're going to have to look at least getting individual DVDs from the four of them, unfortunately. Let me show you what we've got, and then I'll tell you what I think is missing. And it's very interesting because this Best of Ringo CD had a bonus DVD, which at the time I was quite pleased about, but looking at the track listing, it's very selective in what it includes. We've got Sentimental Journey, It Don't Come Easy, Back Off Boogaloo, You're 16 from the 78 version. Didn't do a video originally, I don't think. Only You from 74, Act Naturally with Buck Owens. But they're missing quite a few. I mean, they're missing the photograph video, which I discovered on YouTube a couple of years ago. In all honesty, it's nothing to write home about. It's a bit of a mess. It's just Ringo running around Ascot and sort of posing randomly. It's not very imaginative. I was reading Keith Badman's book the other day, and he was referring to a rare broadcast of the Snookeroo promo, and he reckons that's now lost. I've never seen it. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. Please let me know if you have. That would be very interesting. Keith also mentioned there was an alternative version of Hey Baby around somewhere, presumably lost, but they did make two. There's one of them available on YouTube, the one where he's going down the steps and talking to several different ladies. I'm not sure how different the other one is, but anyway, that's an interesting video. The sound quality is not brilliant. So what I'm asking for really is a kind of remastered compilation of all of Ringo's videos, but as we know, Ringo is very selective in what he puts out on Spotify. He doesn't put anything from 76 through 78 on Spotify, and I was even noticing that on this compilation, if you go to the digital version of this compilation, he's got rid of A Dose of Rock and Roll, he's got rid of Hey Baby, which I think is a bit of a travesty. He's also got rid of King of Broken Hearts, which I'm not too upset about, and in its place he's put, if I can remember rightly, Have You Seen My Baby and 6 O'Clock, both from the Ringo album, which is, you know, decent choices, but then it just means a whole chunk of his career is unrepresented, meaning the second half of the 70s. It's interesting that how videos over the years have changed a bit, and have kind of gone full circle, because when the Beatles first started doing videos in 65, like Ticket to Ride and We Can Work It Out, I Feel Fine, you know, those black and white ones on the DVD, the one DVD. They were basically miming the song, more or less, sometimes fooling around, George pretending to sing when he wasn't, and that kind of thing. But then videos got a bit arty in the sort of late 60s, and we had things like Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane, which were more kind of videos to go with the music rather than them actually singing the song. But then you've got bona fide renditions again of them singing Hey Jude and Revolution. And then the last one they did was obviously something which is just a load of pictures, you know, a footage of them towards the end of their career when they really couldn't be bothered to make a video. Anyway, I digress a bit, but there's a lot of missing Ringo versions. There's some stuff which is on YouTube, like You Don't Know Me At All, when he's got the bald head, is hilarious, and he is miming to that. Drowning in the Sea of Love is also on YouTube from Ringo IV, that's worth checking out. Rack My Brain, similarly. So Ringo chose not to include any of those on the DVD for this compilation, and La-Di-Da neither. So there's a lot of Ringo stuff, hint, hint. Paul, well, he's probably done the best out of the four, because this McCartney Years does a pretty good job in terms of mopping up all the promo videos he's done over the years. And there's not a lot left out, but I have to say there is Obviously, all of the Back to the Egg videos are left out. I think maybe there's one song from here on there. I mean, The Good Night Tonight is on here for sure, but I think most of the rest of the album doesn't feature. So that's a glaring omission. I know the singles didn't do particularly well, but still, it was an important album in the fans' mind. James Paul McCartney, the TV special which he did, is available on the deluxe Red Rose Speedway box set, but unless you're willing to fork out the money required for that, it's not really available, and Bruce McMouse would be the same, which is a shame. And then you've got the 79 tour, which is in the archive somewhere. I think they filmed quite a bit of that. Nowhere to be seen. Now moving on to George. Well, he did put out this DVD to accompany the Dark Horse Years DVDs when they came out, but CDs when they came out. But it's, again, very selective, and it's, you know, they've included 2 versions of Got My Mind Set on You. They've got Faster on here, but they haven't got Blow Away. Admittedly, Blow Away is a terrible video, but still it'd be nice to have it. They've got Crackerbox Palace, they've got this song, they haven't got True Love, which I think is as good a video as those other 2. Maybe it was for copyright reasons, because Cole Porter wrote it. I don't know. All Those Years Ago is not featured here either. And then in terms of the live stuff from Japan, he's just randomly given us Cheer Down, Devil's Radio, Cloud 9 and Taxman. Well, what about the rest of the concert? If that's all been filmed in good quality, then why is it not released? And then I read the other day that George was at the time saying the live version of While My Guitar is far superior to the album version. Well, that might be his opinion, or maybe he was just trying to sell the record, but it's not true in my opinion at all. Anyway, he's entitled to say that, I suppose. And then there's no less than 3 songs from Shanghai Surprise at the end of here, which are pretty dismissible. So George, you know, there's the whole of there's the Apple videos he did, like Ding Dong Ding Dong and Dark Horse, where he's kind of rehearsing in the US before the tour. That's not been released, and also the whole of the Dark Horse 74 tour. Not to mention the Japan 91 tour. Be nice to have both of those. So that was George. Moving on to John. Well, we have got this Part of the People CD, Greatest Hits, had the DVDs as well, but you know, a lot of these DVDs are sort of manufactured after John's death, and he didn't really put together a whole lot of promo videos in his lifetime. In fact, if I think about it, he performed Instant Karma live on Top of the Pops, and he obviously did a few videos for the Imagine album, including the title track. But in terms of deliberate videos, I think Imagine, and maybe he did one for Mind Games where he was strolling around Central Park. But apart from that, we're talking thin pickings. But as I say, there's a lot of released footage on this Imagine and Give Me Some Truth DVDs where, you know, he's in the studio at Ascot giving us very nice versions of a lot of the Imagine tracks. So they're almost like promo videos, but they weren't really conceived as such at the time, because a lot of those songs were not even singles, and they weren't really, a lot of that footage was not released until '88 when the Imagine film came out, and then this DVD came out quite a few years later with the expanded, with the Give Me Some Truth as well material. So I just read, and also from John, we have not got, it's on YouTube, you can watch it, Slipping and Sliding video, which was reading in Keith Badman's book, was recorded at the Hit Factory along with Stand By Me. I didn't know that. That was very interesting, or I'd forgotten that, because obviously he recorded Walls and Bridges at Record Plant West, I think it was, or Record Plant East, and then all of his previous albums had been recorded there, and then the Hit Factory he went to for Double Fantasy in 1980. And I guess at the time, 75, it was quite a new studio. Stevie Wonder was just about to record songs in the key of life. And so he used the facility, and I didn't know those videos are recorded there. So that was interesting. Lou Grade, that short concert performance where he does 3 songs, Stand By Me, Slipping and Sliding, and Imagine, in the red boiler suit. I think I've only ever seen Imagine in anywhere near decent quality. I've seen the other 2 very dodgy quality, but that would be nice to have. And obviously the Live in New York City, we're missing that in a remastered format on DVD. It was released on VHS decades ago, so that's in need. Maybe we're going to see a lot of this stuff with the upcoming archive releases from the Lennon estate. There's a lot of live material from '71 as well, with the John Clint Sinclair rally and him singing Attica State. That will be all very nice. I read recently that they've made a deal to put all of George Harrison's work on the Dark Horse label, including his stuff pre-Dark Horse, like the Apple stuff. I really can't see the point of that, and I'm just wondering if we're going to get anything, us fans are going to get anything like value for money in terms of what he puts out. Because if it's just a newly mastered version of Material World or All Things Must Pass on the Dark Horse label, I'm going to give it a pass. If it's going to be lots of archive goodies, then obviously I'm going to be interested. But their record in terms of what they're charging the fans for one, and two, how relatively few sort of rarities they've put out over the years, I'm not that hopeful, but I would love to be proved wrong. So that was just a video on the lost videos, shall we call it, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.